We expect the government to meet their obligations. Thank you, Mr Speaker.
I call the honourable member to Uraroa Flavel. Tēnā koe.
Tēnā koe, Mr Speaker. Ngā mihi nui kia koe tēnei ahi. Mr Speaker, the Māori Party is proudly standing in support of this bill to amend the Telecommunications Act 2001 to support the implementation of the government's policy program for the telecommunications sector. Mr Speaker, this legislation is a key example of the impact of a strong and independent Māori voice sitting at the decision-makers' table. I want to start by acknowledging the inclusion of specific consideration of Māori interests through the establishment of a national Māori rural broadband working group that will enhance meaningful and appropriate Māori participation in this sector. Mr Speaker, the extension of the powers of Ngā Pūwaia into ultra-fast broadband in urban areas was specifically negotiated by the Māori Party co-leader, the Honourable Dr Peter Sharples, with the Minister of Telecommunications and Information Technology. Ngā Pūwaia is a result of a submission by the Māori Economic Task Force and shows the confidence the government has in its recommendations and in having the Māori Party voice right there at the top table. Mr Speaker, the membership of this group includes representatives from Māori ICT interests, including Te Huarahi Tika Trust, Te Pūtahi Pāho Y2224 claimants, Māori Economic Task Force and Iwi Leaders Forum. The 7 members of Ngā Pūwaia are Jeremy Gardner, Daphne Luke, Mavis Mullins, Hami Piripi, Anthony Royal, Tūwhakairiora Williams and Richard Ozeki. Mr Speaker, for Māori, the Rural Broadband Initiative has a significant benefit in connecting whānau, hapu and iwi, marae, runanga, wānanga, kohanga, kura Māori providers through the use of broadband technology. It will provide for greater expression of kaupapa tuku iho, increased commercial and social activities and improved coverage of te reo Māori. The working group called Te Ngā Pūwaia will develop options for maximising coverage and connectivity to marae, wānanga, kura, kohanga, runanga and other Māori organisations through rural broadband. It will 2. Establish and implement trade training programs and employment opportunities for Māori through the initiative. 3. It will ensure relationship brokerage with Māori at community, regional and national levels to support, among other things, economic development opportunities, including investment opportunities and community-wide education. Mr Speaker, Ngā Pūwaia will be able to provide experience and expertise in Māori economic development through information and communications technology, through the dynamics of Māori stakeholder engagement, through industry knowledge and relationships, through understanding of the roles of ICT in supporting the promotion of the Māori language and culture specifically, and Māori development in general. And so, sir, we welcome this telecommunications bill in that it will increase coverage and connectivity to marae, wānanga, kura, kohanga reo, runanga and Māori providers. Mr Speaker, we're pleased to support this bill because it will enable the establishment of trade training programs through wānanga and in employment opportunities for Māori. The Telecommunications Bill will also provide specific partnering opportunities for Māori or iwi in relation to design and building services, land access and using existing infrastructure and services. Finally, Mr Speaker, we welcome the legislative change to facilitate Māori or iwi investment into the rural broadband sector. People out in the real world might ask why we support this bill. What does it mean for them? Mr Speaker, obviously that doesn't matter to the Labour Party, but for Māori it's quite important. That's why we've gone with this kaupapa. Obviously the concept of communications is important and is paramount in this day and age. 99% of the people have access to the internet. Good connectivity to the outside world is therefore important. But there are other aspects of this initiative which makes the development relevant to a general audience. Economically, information and communications technology is a key infrastructure that brings with it jobs and some more jobs. As a result of this bill, 93% of rural schools will receive fibre, enabling ultra-fast speed with the remaining 7% to achieve moderate speeds. As a result of this legislation, over 80% of rural households will have access to broadband. Mr Speaker, this bill is a vital platform for Aotearoa moving into the future. The Māori Party is pleased to support the bill, and we greatly appreciate the willingness of both the Minister and the Government to enter into an arrangement with the Māori Party, which is so very constructive for whānau, hapu and iwi.
I call the honourable member